Yeah. There we go. Now I'm on. So welcome to the Talking Tactical podcast. You're joined by your host Phoenix and Nero. We are on episode 35, and you're muted too. So I got to get you fixed. 1 second. There we go. There you go. Now you're on. You're good. As you don't talk and just totally mess me up. I appreciate that. So nice.
Check. We're good.
Yeah, I gotta bring it down a little bit, but we're good. No, yeah, we had we started the call 5 minutes ago, so we are all the professional for our weekly show because that's our big topic this week. We're weekly, yay!
Life and things, it all panned out, and we're weekly.
Finally,
until he gets transferred again.
Don't jinx it, please and thank you. No, actually, everything I should ever do now should always be days. So
excellent.
So that's the fun there.
So I've been doing nothing on top of nothing, with the side of nothing.
Just a little bit of boredom.
It's been terrible. It's been absolutely horrible. I've been trying not to kill myself. That's horrible. I don't mean that
we need
at
to
all.
Get you like a hobby. We need to make you knitting.
I do have a hobby. My hobby is sit on the couch, watch TV. Because at any moment my phone could ring, and I could have to work. I'm like a superhero, but not as much fun.
There's a whole lot of sitting around and just waiting, which is always interesting.
Man. Oh yeah. So I did do working out for. I did do some working out for a bit, but my body was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's a fun bad idea. That's what it thought. All right, there
we don't work out. We just eat well and naturally look like this. It's so much fun.
All good. Yeah, so we're weekly. We are back. We are excited for the summer. Everyone else is getting ready to go on like hiatuses and stuff. We're like, let's ramp it up and do even more things.
We're already on hiatus. I guess that's why I'm out of work. Never mind. Carry on.
So
shot moment, you asshole.
What was that?
You're out of work. Rim shot. Haha.
Yeah, well, you made the pun. You made the pun. Not my fault. I have to delete this video later.
Why?
You know why. You as my wife said is I think we should have for dinner a whole lot of roast. That's what we should have for dinner.
I'm not going to roast you about it. So as everybody can notice, somebody had a problem with his trimmer and took off his face.
Half the beard's gone. I'm so sad about this. Yeah, so what happened was I had an old electric razor. I normally just use scissors to trim my beard and keep it maintained. And then I was like, I had a work thing this morning where I was like, well, let's just kind of trim it all up. And the cap popped off, and I was so tired because I hadn't had coffee or anything. I just went right in the middle of my right cheek, and it's like, well, this isn't ever fixing itself now. So I have gone clean shaven for the first time in 8 years. I am clean shaven on my cheeks with a nice little goatee. So what did you say it was? I was going to be the evil guy tonight, evil Tyler tonight.
Oh, so no, it's Mirror Universe Tyler.
Yes.
For the Star Trek fans out there.
Yeah, I should have flipped their spots around. That way it could have happened. Oh, and of course Bradley O'Dell jumps on. The man with nothing but an epic beard gets to look at this horribleness right after we introduce it. That's hilarious.
I don't see him.
Oh, you just popped on to the chat. Oh. But yeah, so you don't have much going on, but any projects coming up or?
I got that. So that we showed a teaser picture of that 3D printed rifle or paintball gun, TPX mod from Danny.
Yes.
Davey.
It was on last show. Yep.
Davey Flint. Flint Productions or whatever it is.
Yeah. Flint Productions.
Yeah, hey, without Flint, you don't have fire. Without fire,
no creativity.
Where would we be? Dun dun dun. Good for you, Davey. I love the name. It's a great name. It's a great. I love the Boba Fett picture. Where'd that come from? That just popped up.
No, that was there last week.
Oh, was it?
That was there. That was its inaugural setup. That was a gift. That was a birthday gift while we were in Disney World. My wife got that for me. So that was.
I don't have anything like that. Oh well.
You just have your cool cups. That's what you have. All your.
I have my I only have the two. Really, the two heads. But they say two heads are better than one. Oh, yeah. So speaking of which. Oh well. Anyway, I'm not going to do the second camera bit. That was funny last week. It wasn't funny. Nobody liked it. Nobody talked about it. You've got no comments. There's nobody watching. This is no fun today.
Well, that's because we're on our new show. We have to. Everyone will figure it out.
I know. So we got to find another date. People, if chime in, let us know when works better for you. And those of you who just listen, any day works. Hi, Ashley Day. Any day works, and she shows up. Ha ha ha. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Nice.
No, he'll darken your door. I don't know. Somebody will tell me.
I haven't heard of the difference
Always
that
do.
one.
It's funny. Facebook is just a slower version of Google.
What? Facebook is a slower version of Google?
Yeah, you don't always get the right answer, but you type in anything, people give you their opinion.
I actually like that one. That's good.
Really is.
That's what is it? College Humor did that bit where it's what if Google was a guy?
Yeah, College Humor.
Yeah,
What if Google was a man?
A person or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was funny.
So project-wise, just because I do want to talk about it a little bit, because you've seen it online, I am hosting an event at Sector 57. First one is 2 Saturdays from now. So honestly, for those that are local 13th to Oshawa, I'm just pulling it up right now.
My math is no good.
That's fine. June 9th.
Yay!
So June 9th, it is the Saturday. Now, that being said, I am not expecting a huge turnout for those that are big game goers because that is the Saturday of D-Day, but that was the Saturday that worked. So if you're local, not making it to D-Day, it's a Saturday of game. After this, the next one is on July 22nd. It is a Sunday. It is the weekend after Honey Badger, so that one I didn't manage to time out. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's something that...
Are we going to Honey Badger?
I'm going to Honey Badger. You're going to Honey Badger this year, right?
It's my birthday weekend, though.
So you're definitely going to Honey Badger.
Well, no, I don't... See, I've hit the age where going to paintball games isn't always my favorite thing to do on my birthday anymore.
Yeah, but we can make it back in time for evening activities.
Evening activities. He's talking about watching porn and jerking off. He does that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He loves watching porn and jerking off. Anyways.
I need to censor you in the edits later. Eventually one day. No, I'm kidding. Never would do that. But no, what I like about these, because we were talking about Honey Badger, which is big games, D-Day, huge games.
Oh, well, D-Day is where?
It's in Ottawa at Commando, not Commando Paintball anymore. They've rebranded it Commando Action Sport, something like that. They've branched out to do airsoft, laser tag, a bunch of other stuff. So that's why they're not just paintball. But that is on the Sunday. It is a 2-day event. Saturday is lots of mini things, though. They do clinics. They do teching. A lot of the celebrities are there both days, so if you want to do like a meet and greet, it's easier on the Saturday. The Sunday itself is the day of the event, though. So that's why the Saturday for me wasn't that bad. There's actually a lot of local interest because we have a lot of guys who can't make the D-Day one, just with the driving on a Sunday and everything else like that. But the thing I like about these, and you did attend my one of the ones last year, is these are organized walk-on days. And the reason I've always positioned it that instead of a big game, there's no special rate. You're not paying me $20 to walk on the field plus your paint and other things. Everything is the walk-on price. It is designed to be a fun day. No generals. I will be providing maps and objectives, so it's in-depth games. But the whole point of it is to have a more loose feel to it. So we would never.
People who just want to show up to shoot people, they can just show up and shoot people.
Exactly. There is mission stuff with it. It's a lot of fun. It's a heist theme for both of them. So both games are actually the same.
So where is Sector 57 for those of you playing the home game?
North of Oshawa is the easiest way of describing it. Where's the exact address as I say that? Google is your friend because I don't want to.
Somewhere between here and there.
Yeah. Like how my computer just knows I want Sector 57 as I start typing it out.
SE Sector 57.
God, yeah. So it is technically in Port Perry. It's up on Coates Road. It's just that's how far north it is. But when you're thinking of it,
it's a rough road, boys and girls, especially after the rain we had today and tomorrow. It's going to be a shit show.
Yes. So getting there can be a bit of a pain. But if you there is a back way of getting in, going up Shirley.
As always.
Yeah. Going up Shirley and around by a golf course.
But it's still a muddy road both ways.
Yeah, but it's not as bad the second way because it's paved for except for the last, 50, 100 meters? No, on that. A couple hundred meters. Yeah. But anyways, so it should be a lot of fun. It's the games will have a third faction as they did last year, where it's just more of a resistance. So one game, for example, that I've been teasing, which is the first game, it's two. There's the bandits and then there's the mafia. Then there will be police escorts where they have bagged goods that you have to go try and find them on the field, and they'll shoot back at you while the other faction's shooting at you. So it's one of
Love your
those
3-faction games so much.
So, well, these ones I like though because I don't even say it would be 3 factions. I say it's 2 factions with NPCs. I think is the better description of it because the non-player character, like they're not playing the objective. They
Yeah, I
are the
really did
objective.
enjoy that. Your last one, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Shooting at everybody and getting shot at by everybody, and then holding it off till the last minute. That was amazing. And then running in and stealing it because
you got to switch teams. That's the thing too. Is
well,
like
because then I got to switch teams and I knew where it was.
yeah. So and that's the point of it is like I usually pick out guys who are experienced guys or girls, not to discriminate.
Well, no, sorry. I guess the point of that game was to try to further it because that game had gotten very stale, and I guess that's the real point of that 3rd faction is to really kind of like remind those teams you're not just shooting at each other.
Yeah.
You know, just because you see blue doesn't mean you pull the trigger because green could be coming out of the bushes.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
So looking forward to that, and then
did you remember to get freaking duct tape this time? Are you going to remember to get duct tape this time?
Oh, you mean for the other faction?
For all 3 factions.
Yes, yeah, we'll actually have because they have the sector does it differently where they don't use tape. They use a little bandana at the back of your mask, which
it's so bad. You got to do arm tape, especially in big games.
Yeah,
that was a big issue at your last one, and every game I've ever been to at sector. So hey, it's your game, your rules, so to speak.
So no, we'll be bringing some tape.
Just saying, bring fucking tape.
Well, actually, I'll bring tape for you. I'm going to have my little oh crap, what is it?
Words.
The Velcro.
So we are going to Honey Badger.
Yep, we're going to go to Honey Badger.
On that note, I heard a birdie start chirping. Hey, Gallagher. Of course, you show up and start Gallaghering it up. Love you, Gallagher. I heard a little birdie at 0 hours say something about there being an APC going out on the field. Yeah. So you know how you could pay to fly in a helicopter?
Mm-hmm.
Like X number of dollars gives you X number of minutes or what have you, or whatever, X number of dollars for a full drive. I'm a galley giver. No comment. I don't know what that even means. You can think about it while I finish my statement. So yeah, I heard a rumor that they're going to be it's going to be like paid APC rides. If you want to ride there for 50 minutes, you pay like $30-$40. You want to pay for $50, what have you. If you want to ride for 30 minutes, you pay $30. You know, something. But who wants to ride in a fucking hot APC?
It's a cool concept, and I think
somebody who blocked me said something. Who is it? Who's Facebook?
Oh, Conrad. Conrad, like who helps host Honey Badger.
Oh, Conrad Ritter. Yeah. Conrad Ritter. Hi, Conrad. Weird. Yeah. Oh, my phone is ringing. That could be work. One moment.
Let's see if Nero's going to ditch us to go work a whole bunch. Just throwing something in the chat. So we have thrown the event, the first one that's coming up this weekend, in the chat. So if you are interested in checking it out, just take a look there. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for Honey Badger this year. I got to go last year. My real question only is do I rock First Strike for most of the event, all of the event, or do I give my wallet the diet that it needs and just do round ball? So comment below what you guys would pick. Would you do First Strike all day, round ball all day? Yeah, so that's exciting there. So I always love the Honey Badger crew, what they put on there at PRZ every year. It's big. The other thing too is it's going to be a 2-day event. 90% sure. The Saturday is the main event. They are also hosting it onto a Sunday as well. I think that's more of a mini missions, like a half day. The event in general is online, so it is on Facebook if you want to go check it out. I know pre-registration has begun for it. So last year it was capped and they hit cap. So this year, okay, so prices are not set in stone. There we go. So I don't know any numbers actually for Conrad. He's commenting in there, who's one of the guys who helps hosting it. I don't know exactly what's up there, but keep an eye open. It's a lot of fun. I would recommend once prices are out and everything is there, then definitely check it out. The Mag-Fed games at PRZ are something different to be played. So there are other events that are open class where you'll see Speedball, Milsim guys all together, but when you have a full Mag-Fed team, it gets a lot more fun. That being said, be careful for those that like to mock you at Honey Badger, because there were people who had a mannequin head with a mask and they kept poking it up, and as one of my good friends said, you just made me waste $50 shooting first strikes at nothing. So I forget who it was who did that last year, but they were my hero because like I even did it. I'm like, that player's out, ref, check him, and ref just like would stand out and they'd be like, no, they're good, like, because he knew it was the mannequin. It wasn't George Gallagher. It was a similar style to what he would do, but someone else had done it, so it was a lot of fun. So
I love that there was a confirmation on the APC. Sorry, I totally gapped it. I just noticed that it's a Facebook user had confirmed a APC.
Yeah, so
that was weird. But yeah, awesome, good stuff. Love to hear more about that later. And yeah, the United Stand Mannequin Master. So yeah, I have work tomorrow.
Yay!
I didn't catch the name of the show, but I made sure it wasn't with someone I didn't want to work with.
That's good.
I love having choice. It's so much fun now. Oh.
Yay! But yeah, so
apparently there's a ton of work out there, but there's none for because I'm in for 2 different departments.
Yeah.
And they put a note on my file when I first started to put me as a only by request, so only certain people could actually get me on the show. I don't know. I didn't ask. I just didn't want to work on the second show. And I'm not going to say what the show is because then people who watch the show who know who's working where will know who I'm talking about and be like, "Yep, makes sense." We'll talk about it later, Gallagher.
On the PMs, on the PMs.
No, it was cool because then you never get a choice there's just so much work right now. So they're like, here's 2 choices. Where do you want to work?
Yeah,
but normally you don't get a choice. They just call you and they say, this is where you're working. How about now? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the summer's the bigger one, right? Like, is there more stuff in the summer, or is it more fall and spring?
Fall, spring, okay. Fall, and early or late winter, like February, or January, February, March, April. Starts dying off in May, and April. Starts dying off really in April.
Okay, yeah.
Some shows die off in March.
It's one of my favorite things too. Is that like because me and Nero do have that weird thing where we have lives outside the podcast, and the friendship that we've had now since meeting online and talking all the time is that
we met at the field, did we not? I swear
we never actually met in person. We may have run into each other, but we were never introduced until you watched the podcast one day and said, hey, I want to come talk to you about
who was
paintball.
On it.
Who was on it? Was that it wasn't anyone
you were talking about your gun earlier. I don't know who it was. Yeah, I don't remember at all. But I popped into the comments and I just went, "Oh, you know what it was? I think it was a hooligan, the guy with the."
No, hooligan's only been on once, and it wasn't a video. He's never been on the video. Or we weren't doing. Yeah, we were doing video at the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to remember who it was. No, it might have been Jamie. It might have been some of the sector refs, or it was someone from the U.S. I think. But yeah. So, anyways.
Carrying on. I have work tomorrow.
Yay. Actually, speaking of work, other things, and the segue conversation we were going to have. So one thing that we were hacking around for a topic for tonight was paintball items making it into the real world, or the things you've picked up in paintball that you've transitioned in there. My favorite example is I have a Condor backpack that is my day-to-day commuter. For my train ride downtown with my laptop, everything else in it, just the pockets and everything else like that. I really enjoy it. The other one too is Original SWAT are my go-to boots. I have an old pair that I've replaced once, so they are my work around the house boots, and then another pair for the winter.
Oh, so, that's good. Yeah, I made the I had somebody made that comment when I was on the plane ride from Albany, not Albany, from Albany to wherever, because I had the backpack, tack boots, blah blah blah. But somebody else was wearing tack boots and like, oh cool, where'd you serve? I was like, well, it doesn't really matter. No. Me neither. I'm just a construction worker. And I was like, oh cool. So like, it's just a guy who, just wears them too, but he's just a construction worker. Yeah. And I know tons of guys that work in our department and in labor and all kinds of stuff that wear OG SWATs because they're just comfortable. Oh yeah, they're easy to take off. They're like, you ever break your foot, I would rather be breaking an OG SWAT than any other boot because you can just unzip it instead of cut off all the laces and cut through the side. Or what a waste of money.
Yeah. Gallagher
tomorrow and sitting on my hands for days, driving me crazy. Sorry.
Gallagher's comment was he uses a tactical paracord sling for his heavy power tools when working. That's a great one.
He has an Atlas tactical apron, so ignore him. he's got like a good, like he's got a full apron with like patches all over it. He's an odd case. Everybody, but he's the guy to go to. He makes set carts for people.
Yeah.
So I need one that fits in my trunk.
FYI Gallagher.
Folds.
FYI
Gallagher. There you go. The Atlas Ames apron.
Atlas 46 Ames.
He'll tell us what that means in the comments because he listens to us. Anyhow, yeah. So we were in New York. As soon as you brought up the topic, the first thing that came to my mind was was walking through New York. I mean, you had Thomas Mock, who had one of his Condor backpacks, and I just got a ding. Oh, Gallagher. Condor backpack and OG Swats. David Reed, Condor backpack, OG SWAT or whatever, Condor 511. Yeah. And then you have Ben with 511 pants, ballistic glasses, 511 hat, patch on the front that just is like Canadian flag or something to that effect. Like he looks like he was also wearing a collared 511 shirt. Like he just looked like a
spokesperson.
No, yeah, exactly. He looked like a spokesperson for 511. It was funny, and it just like kind of made me like, I don't want to walk through like Ground Zero with this guy. I don't want to get a look at him like he's an operator or something, or a wannabe operator.
That's funny.
It was funny, but yeah, he is. I think he's in the selection process right now for the Canadian Forces. So good on you, buddy. Yeah, 10 points to him. I think it was Memorial Day on Monday in the States. Yes, so happy belated Memorial Day to our American friends. Quick segue out, just because we always do this. What are you drinking tonight, buddy?
I have nothing. I have no beer in the house. I'm going sober for this show. I know. I'm sad by this, too. It was one of those ones where I was in Pickering today for a mix and mingle that I'd mentioned before, so I got home earlier, but my wife was hosting a movie night that I was able to make it to, so it was one of those ones where I just didn't have time to stop this.
Movie night with the kids?
Yeah, so she was doing Moana for a bunch of families and stuff like that in the area. So free movie at the event at the church just to get people in. She can promote some other stuff. So all fun. So David Perrin made a comment. He loves the SWATs. They're great for work at home, but he likes Blackhawks better. So I do know that there's a couple that are out there that are really nice. Some people like the original SWAT, but the wear down on them is pretty quick, I hear, for the soles. But I haven't noticed it, but I also don't go as hard. What are you drinking, though? Because you look confused by what you're drinking. Gallagher says it's Corona Day, so.
Oh, no. I'm drinking something called Nickelbrook Brewing Company, Pineapple Uber Sour Beer.
Uber Sour beer.
Soured light beer.
There's no alcohol in this beer. Fake beer. Very sour?
Tastes like lemon juice.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Actually, you know what? I'll be honest. It tastes like an over-limed Corona. So it depends on what you like.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. AKA Prohibition beer in disguise.
Fake beer. You're saying about
No, it's 6%.
Yeah, no. You were saying the comment though, like you're like the way you were describing it. It sounded like you were saying like non-alcoholic, like something.
Oh yeah, Uber sour beer. So that's my fake beer.
I remember working at a grocery store. Someone was like, "Where's the like whatever the percentage is?" And we're like, "What? What? The fake beer? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right by the water over here in aisle like 4 or whatever it was." High school days. The other one too I was going to say though is that original SWAT.
We use that at work all the time.
High school days?
No, Prohibition beer.
Oh, okay.
We use it for any time they are actually doing beer. We do pressurized beer kegs, but they're not actually kegs. They're just like pressure vessels with hoses attached and air.
That's cool.
Every time somebody pulls a bar tab, there's an effects guy. Yeah. Yay!
But because the other thing is the original SWAT has the running shoes that Widowmaker or mostly Direct has, and I'm looking at those now as my next like running shoe because I actually had a chance to try them on when I was there, and they are super comfy, but just as a good like run around shoe. So I think that's the one thing I've enjoyed is that just being in paintball, I've come to appreciate a lot more of that gear, the quality. The other big thing too that I would say I've very much come to appreciate is worn out things. And I know it's a weird thing to say, and everyone kind of goes, "Wait, what?" And what it is that like I subscribe to that thought process of like, "Oh no, it needs to be new, it needs to be shiny." like it's like, oh, something's got a dent in it, well, I should maybe like look at getting something new. Now it's like there's a story behind all of that stuff.
I've got a story that totally lines up with what you're saying.
So like one of my favorite things, just before you go on it, is that like I picked up some black duct tape and a Dremel for a project at home, and it was like one of those ones where like within like the 2 days of having it over the weekend, like some things had broken, and I was like, I have the perfect solution for this. And the Dremel for fixing up stuff and doing some projects around the house, it's just kind of drove me a little bit more to do that hands-on work and repair. So that one thing. Yeah, so David, just to...
trailing off into the comments.
Yeah, so we're both are doing that. So David was commenting, the Blackhawks use the Vibrant Souls Hadwin since 2012, still have Solia.
I hear those Almas are pretty good.
David, I don't know if like he's doing like voice to text, but he's just...
Anybody know the word?
He's even saying he's like, he can't write, so I'm...
Oh, no, he's too drunk.
Yeah, he's had too many beers. Blackhawks use the Vibrant Souls.
Dremels are the first step in a tool addition. Yeah, Dremel. Yeah. Dremels, fine tools. There's a neat little Dremel. It's like a rip-off Squirrel Drive or a skill saw. Skill saw. It's like a rip-off skill saw, but it's a little tiny Dremel version. Fucking great. You can cut anything. Absolutely. Oh, Ultima's came out with a black multicam, almost like a KED. Not a KED. What's the other one called? Converse.
Okay.
Evan was sharing pictures of it. Sorry, he was just posting how much he loves his Ultimates, but a couple days ago. But it was.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, and those look so nice. I was like, damn it, the want.
Dremel's a great little company, but Gallagher's a Milwaukee man, Milwaukee man.
Yeah. Yes.
He's got a red everything. Everything is red.
Even the stereo.
All my shit's DeWalt. Well, you know, it's funny. That's another one. Like we always go back to tribalism, but there's a joking like people won't. You just get whatever you want to get, and then nobody touches it. You know, somebody prefers to use Meineke tools. They won't go and steal somebody's DeWalt drill.
Yeah,
because it won't match their tools.
Yeah, and there's a part of it too. Like I have to get some power tools. As some of the ones I had are dying, and it's one of those ones I'm looking at the brands because I want to stay in the family because the batteries are interchangeable. They're charging packages, like it's just like you keep everything together, which would be quite nice. But I think like you guys, you run yours into the ground far more than I will. So I'm looking at some of the Home Depot, like the cheaper ones. I forget it's the green kawaii ones or something like that. End
of summer, early fall is the best time. Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, go wherever you can find it. If there's any Ronas left, there's Ronas in the States. Makita. No, you're not a Makita guy, are you? I thought all your shit was red. Milwaukee. I said Milwaukee.
Yeah, no, he's saying about what I was getting. Let me see it here. No, Ryobi.
Did I say Makita? Ryobi's garbage. Don't get Ryobi.
No, those are just, those are the ones like that I was kind of like at first.
In the States, Ryobi's rebranded as something called Cobalt.
Yeah.
It's blue instead of orange.
Yeah. These ones are green because the orange is rigged. Mm-hmm. I think I'm making Gallagher now. I'm making him mad right now by the...
Get Makita or get Milwaukee or Dremel.
I can't be cool. Like
buy the real name brand stuff. Don't get the crap. No, you get shitty tools. You get shitty product. You get shitty turnout. Do it right.
No, I just made the joke. I said I can't get DeWalt. Can't be cool like you.
Get a DeWalt. I've got DeWalt. My father-in-law. That's all he uses is DeWalt.
That's what my father-in-law has as well. But one thing too is I like is that there's Lowe's and there's Home Depot, and it's you see the different brands that they have. Like one has, because I don't even think Power. They have Milwaukee. There's something else that. What's the blue one?
Okay. Blue one is there's two, but normally that's Makita.
Is that the one?
And there's also Mastercraft, but stay away from Mastercraft.
Yeah, that's the rebrand.
Mastercraft Maxim. There's none of that. If it breaks, bring it back.
Yeah. So I do have the Mastercraft Dremel, but that was just because it was beyond like it was just to have it.
Oh, they've got a great rotary tool. They have a great router. They've got a great Dremel, obviously.
Yeah.
My mom, like I said, mom got their mini.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Gallagher named it already. The Sawmax, amazing little toy. I use that thing to help. If anybody follows me on Instagram, I built a deck while I was in North Carolina, and that little thing helped. It was a neat little toy.
Yeah, that's the one. It's interesting just to
Master Crab. Ew.
Yeah, Bosch is the one that I was thinking of.
Bosch. Yeah, don't. You know what? Bosch is actually really good. They do angle grinders, or angle grinders is something like grinding discs, flapper disc, whatever you want to call it, sanding disc. Not a buffer. Don't use it as a buffer.
No.
Strip the paint off your car.
Yeah.
They are very good to a degree.
Yeah,
they're
those are the ones I recognize because my brother-in-law's an electrician. That's what his family kind of grew up on, and that's always the funny one. Like you said, like it's like cars. You kind of get stuck into a family build up on it.
Man, Mazda, Nissan, wife's family drives Volkswagen, Dodge, Chevy.
It depends.
Gallagher had a Volkswagen, then he got a Chevy, then he got a Toyota. He has no brand loyalty at all.
We've only had we've had a Sunfire, Mazda,
Sunflower?
and Dodge. Yep, good old
Which
first
Mazda?
vehicle, Mazda 3. You've been in the Mazda.
So
3.
Sam when I met Sam, she had just gotten rid of her Sunflower and gotten her Sonic.
Yeah.
And I was driving a Mazda. No, I wasn't. I was driving a Nissan at the time. But then my second car was or third car, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. The next car when we started dating was a Mazda 3.
Yeah, I love mine. It's one of those ones is where like I'm starting to hear it. Like it's not gonna go anytime soon. But it's like I'm never trading this in. But it's paid off, and that's the whole point of it. It's just my commuter car.
Oh, one of my campers used to call my car the mobile music box because the rear struts went, and they were go 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 go. They didn't matter much because I was only going like 3 kilometers down the road. Hey James, actually, just go 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 go.
My
go,
favorite.
Go. Everybody called it the mobile music box, and then I got it fixed, and it was like, oh, there's actually a problem with the engine. Yes, I could actually hear the engine for a change.
Yeah. Well, actually, on the highway today, somebody had I wasn't sure if it was a muffler or what, but they had that crack when they started to accelerate, and it was like I heard it the first couple of times, and I'm just like, the hell was that when I run over? Like I'm thinking it's my car, and then I keep hearing it every once in a while.
Their exhaust.
Yeah,
could be something simple, or a crack in their exhaust pipe, like you.
Yeah, but
I assume
no, it was something like aftermarket that they put on like to make it louder. Like it was like one of those. Like,
yeah.
But
I had a good. One of my sisters used to date one of those Tim Hortons crowd guys.
Oh,
who drive the rice burners?
Such a Canadian comment.
Right? The Tim Hortons crowd. So the guys who'd hang out at Tim Hortons and talk about their Honda Civics, eh? Yeah. And they'd all be like, "Oh man, I got the new XYZ from KNS and blah blah blah." And I don't know, man. I've never really. I feel like I've wasted potential because I know I have a mind full of useless facts, but none of them. Like I don't have a lot of facts about individual subjects. I just have a lot of facts about a lot of subjects. That makes any sense? Like there's no mastery, just a whole lot of jacking off.
There's actually everyone always makes it the term like jack of all trades, master of none. But there's actually it's not the full quote. So people have actually cut it off to make it sound worse than it actually is.
Oh, then what is it, Billy Bob?
I'm trying to remember it all. It's a jack of all trades, master of none, but better to be. I'm gonna look it up now because I forget the rest of it. I want to see it. Ouch.
Better to look at the stars and stare at the sun. Well, I'm going to coin that instead because it sounds better.
Where is it?
I like mine better. This is taking too long.
I'm trying to find it, but it's like figuring it out. No, because everyone's like explaining it, and I'm like, "What's the true quote?"
That's a good one. Oh, you know what? I like mine. I'm going to write that down. But I'm
going to make a patch later.
Actually, already refined it.
I liked how there's a story online where one of our friends he tried to pay for a parking meter, and he put the $2 in. He's supposed to get his change back, and he hit it, and it didn't work because it wasn't giving his money back. And then $16 comes out, and the comment was, "Oh, violence just solves everything." Like 48 hours later, there's a patch that came out. Violence solves everything. So let me see here.
Cool. I can't spell none. I spelled bitch. Oh, whatever. Jack of all trades, master of none. Study the stars, don't stare at the sun. I like that.
That's actually, I do like that one.
It's a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, there it goes. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Mine gets the same point across.
It does, yeah, but it's very much a thing. Hi, James. Um,
Hello.
what was another one? Something else I was going to say.
James has a
I
date
have...
tomorrow.
Ooh.
Good luck on your date tomorrow, James. How he's blushing. Love you.
So I was going to ask you this. So I had a question get asked to me the other day, and I want to hear what you have to say. Experienced player wants to build a DMR and like dedicated marksman rifle. For those that don't know, what would you recommend? With understanding that like they're willing to spend over that $500 paintball limit.
Oh, okay. Put the money into optics. Get a nice, decent optic that can see through plexiglass well. Get a little plexiglass plate, a decent one. Spend the money on the protection of your optics and your optics itself. Get a decent riser. I would suggest go with the first. Gotta say it, not a big fan of the Milsig one. It doesn't lock properly. Even Jesse uses a crossbow, or used the crossbow sight for his DMR.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I use the First Strike one. I have it all taped off and set for different distances, so it's like.
I know there's. I haven't had a chance to see it, but
I wasn't finished. But carry on.
No, but the optics. There's one that actually came out. Is it the First Strike? I know it's not First Strike branded, but it's a First Strike.
There is, yeah. There was a Tiberius T9.1 sniper rifle setup.
Yeah, but
came with a riser and a sight, or scope rather, and it was actually a decent little 4x.
No,
had a nice
there's one that was
shroud
made
on it
for First Strikes though.
Yeah. This is what I mean. Like
no, not the First Strike brand. The First Strike mark, like the round. It's new. It not the same.
Oh, okay. We'll look at that up and then we'll get into that. But that's what I suggest, at least for your sight setup. As far as rifle goes, get yourself a Angel to, or Spider rather, to A5 adapter and get a really good A5 ported barrel, or get yourself a really good Spider ported barrel. But get something that's rifled rather. Get a really good rifled barrel, because I never understood the physics of a First Strike until I saw them come out of a barrel in slow motion, because we have that technology. What happens is when it comes out of a smooth barrel is sometimes the First Strike will start its own spin, which is actually what it's correcting when it comes out of the barrel, and you'll see it kind of almost like starts. It's called spin drift, but it starts to like correct itself in the air and starts making a big, huge loop. That means that the projectile, its velocity slowed. Its rotational velocity slowed, and then it actually correct itself because its fins were actually pulling it in the correct spin. And then it kind of tightens itself up as it goes further. Unless you're really, really, really good with your crossbow optics too. Unless you're really good at adjusting for spin drift, it's a pain in the ass. I've put rounds. I talk about this ad nauseum, but I've put rounds around people because of the spin drift. It's so frustrating. The corkscrews around a guy, like just
that little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It drives me mental. It's fine.
I can find it now, but I'll look it up later. But what it was is with this one, it was that the dip on it was set to the First Strike.
Yeah.
So that was the optics for it. It came out a couple years ago, so I'm not sure what it was, but yeah.
As for the marker, I would definitely go with... I love it. It's my favorite. Get a freaking Tracer or a Hammer 7. And mod it any way you want. The Tracer's a little bit easier, and it's already got a thumb load set up for First Strikes. If you want to make like a good solid sniper rifle, or you want to make a pump action decent one, go with the I think James, actually, I think he's in the comments, he was working on a like a Rem 700 or a Ruger stock.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say the only thing with the Hammer 7 suggestion is that they are discontinued, so they're harder to find.
And that rifle not ported, sorry.
Yeah, so that's the only thing with those, is those ones are there. If it's like budget is truly no issue, then the SAR, if you like bolt action, I've had a chance to shoot them, played with them, they are fun. But in terms of like the more mainstream, I think it comes down to the M5 and the T15. Like those are the two. Like if you're gonna play around with it.
What about the SAR 12?
I said this, sorry, if you have the budget for it, but if you don't if you don't like bolt action,
if you've got the budget for the SAR, you might as well just get the DAM.
But this is my thing with the DAM, is that it is really good for magazines
Experience.
because it has the 20 round and the 10 round that are interchangeable. So you
Box mag.
and the box mag. But we're talking about DMR, so the assumption here is that there isn't a
Hey.
electric hopper.
Put a scope on it as a DMR.
Yeah. But no, because this
Just
person
saying.
was saying like for first strike specifically. So we were having the
Okay.
discussion back and forth. So, but my thing was that I do like the
Can't wait for
T15.
that 100 round T15 mag.
Oh, the drum
100
mag.
first strikes.
If it ever
Wait a
comes
minute.
out.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a 30 round Tempest? The 30 round Tempest.
Yeah,
That did first
for the
strikes.
SMG.
That was nice. I like that, but it wasn't very. You never saw anybody use that in a DMR setup.
No, just because of the.
Yeah.
Actually, that being said, if you did something like a Hammer 7, not even Hammer 7, but if you did a mod, you know how there's
They have
somewhere
they have
hopper?
TPX mag mod for Hammer 7s.
Yeah, but what I was saying though is that if you did something, well, just honestly, and I think
And
it's a
then
weighted.
you use the Tempest, and you get a 30 round first strike.
Yeah.
And you can use it as a nice little. Then you don't need a bipod. You can use it as a nice little.
Yeah, roller. So
I love doing that.
you didn't go there.
Didn't go where? Where did I go?
Yeah.
Where did I go? I'm so lost.
I think about the Tempest. The one thing I like though is the only thing I don't like about the
he's talking about the T15s.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I do? I have. Okay, so
You have
you know
both.
what
Well, you have
I've played. I've got every conceivable half decent. Oh, I can't wait for that Grizzin. Oh, pump action shotgun. Fires first strikes. I'll throw a scope on that any day.
So my thing with the T15s is that like you
Sorry.
only have the one meg choice where
Yes.
it's the 20 round, which is great and good, but I have found that when I've played the Bush game,
Yep.
having a lower profile magazine makes the world of a difference. So I would,
Yeah.
if you don't already have, because the other thing too is if you already have a first strike T15, I would say get a second one because you know how to tech it, you know how it works, parts are interchangeable. But if you are just getting it and you don't care for the off-brand, the M5 I like more only because they have 3 mag choices. You have your the hybrid mags which come out for the M5, feed first strikes, fit amazingly well, 20 rounds. Then you have the old first strike square heads. Then finally there's the Grizzin. Nero had just mentioned it, where these are low profile magazines. They're also smoke filled, so you can see how many rounds you have left. So if you have the colorful first strikes, they make a big difference there. That's why I think the M5 wins is its magazine versatility. The T15 has that limitation. With all of it being said, though, what do you need to have a DMR is a good
How would it not
rifle
work with
barrel.
first strike rounds? Anybody who's got a Dremel can make that happen there, Gallagher. Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Carry on.
To get any kind of DMR, pretty much what you need is a good rifled barrel. You need a good scope to hit the shots you need, and then you need to figure out your feeding mechanism. Like I said, if you've crawled like a kilometer in the bush to get the perfect shot, but you have to, and you get everything set up, and then all of a sudden you have to twist it to the side, you're setting yourself up for not the same.
With the Hammer 7, with the Tracer, you don't have that problem.
No,
Tracer, because it's already a...
But I mean, like the conformality of like now having to twist your marker to the side to get your shots. Also, don't run remote line
Never seen somebody do that.
if you're lying on your stomach.
Oh, remote line? No, what are you saying, man? The best way to get a nice consistent air fill is a nice big air tank with a remote line. You get a nice consistent pressure.
I find
and
that
you can-
getting the angle better without one helps more.
Let's agree to disagree on that one. Because once you get to your last couple shots with that 13 CI, your velocity's dropping off, and then you got to readjust all your everything. So I have this thing. This is my my T15 setup, and on it, of course, because I like to keep like with like, is my T15 or my old Tiberius tri-rail. So I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but I need suggestions for a nice first strike scope, because my I think I cracked the lens on my actual Tiberius one, unfortunately. So again, I need a nice scope set up for this bad boy. I don't know what to put on it. Something for first strikes, something for long range. Because I'm actually making this my DMR, which is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Love this thing. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Looks funny like that though, doesn't it?
It does. Like you have to take that like moment of disbelief away and then remember how the rest of it goes.
Yeah. Scope. Anybody out there, scope ideas, hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the DMs, whatever. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I need a new scope.
Yeah. So Gallagher's comment was about the Hammer 7 with the TIPX mod turns the TIPX mag backwards, so it causes a breach location issue.
Right. We need to fix that.
Yeah. The other one too, though, is because we kind of mentioned it before. Is who had said this? Hedgehog had said this. So there's two methodologies with dealing with first strikes. You have some players that will they will sand down the tips of their first strikes. They'll weigh them out.
You don't have to do that anymore.
You shouldn't
weigh it out. You do, but
it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. But if you're having problems with your first strikes, and then the second.
At any point, the sanding the tip, that was just like an aesthetic problem. People are like, oh, it changes the velocity. It really doesn't, because you have to think about the ranges you're shooting at. If you're shooting at like 130 to 300 to 200 yards out, yeah, it's going to make a huge difference. But you're shooting 100 yards, don't worry about it. You've got to just worry about the weighting.
Yeah, but
the weight distribution.
More for
because once that round starts spinning, if you've put a piece of, because there's a member of SAS that used to put putty or something into all of his rounds, so they were all the same weight, so he didn't have to worry about them. Mm-hmm. But he would meticulously mold it so that it was perfect all the way around. There was weight distribution all the way around. It was the same, because he used to again, that was before really good rifled barrels, and there were trajectory problems.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And that was the thing, though, is what I wasn't talking about was so much for the shot, was it's the feeding issue. So some early gen first strike markers do catch them just because they didn't compensate. The newer ones are doing a lot better, but
not for that price, Gallagher.
Gallagher had linked a scope in there.
Sorry, yes. He linked a crossbow scope that was like $330, not for paintball especially. One round down not worth it. Thinking of a nice paintball, get rid of it.
Yeah, if it breaks, it's okay.
Oh, we got a whole bunch of hate there for a second. Uh-oh.
So the other methodology too with dealing with first strikes is to mod your marker to better accept them. This is the methodology that I believe in, is that don't mod the round to make it work in your marker. Make your marker work with the round.
Yeah, the problem with paintball is that every round is different and the trajectory of every ball is different. So you have to make a very wide margin of error for paintball. You really, really do.
And the thing too, it got brought up. I don't really want to talk too much about mag-fed social media stuff right now because of the toxicity of it.
What's going on? What did I miss? Man, I don't. So you are my only news outlet for paintball. So
the first one I'm going to do is there was a good debate that I enjoyed. Is what do you use to load your magazines faster? And the better takeaway is don't use anything force-fed. There are some great winders on the market that I have seen that to wind your mag quicker, that makes sense. There's better there's the quick tools like the Milsig barrel plugs come with a little notch on it, but there are some where they clip in and you have a bigger winder to use it. But hand load your round balls because they are deformed and you will find that odd one. Yeah. And if it's your third shot in your mag and your mag goes down, like that's my thing there, is like don't force your paintballs into your magazine because you are missing out on making sure you have good paintballs in there. So the toxicity of social media right now in the last 10 minutes, of course, is the tourist
new stuff?
Is the touristy stuff. Have you
touristy stuff? So
what's happening is that people are having fun where they're, the old discussion, what's the best marker? Is this mag fed? Like the discussion of like if it's force fed through an upper breach instead of like dropping down gravity wise through a hopper. One's mag fed, one's not. Now the thing is that they make a comment about like you might be a tourist if, to get the comments going and things like that. The other one too is the M17A2 doesn't come with a BRH, a bolt reset handle. So there's a bunch of people asking, well, I got the M17A2 and there's no BRH. What's going on? Can I return it? And then people took it to the extreme of like memes and constantly posting on it. So it's just like, why am I seeing my news feed filled with this crap? So I actually dropped out of the
This is one of the reasons why I got rid of Facebook.
I dropped out of the MagFed Global. I still in the MagFed Canadian ones, but I just
We got to get into MegFed United. Those boys are phenomenal mofos. Oh, I'm drinking Golden Pheasant tonight. And as always, the old peel of... Oh, look, I'm getting laid tonight.
I thought the whole
Who
thing
remembers
was
the college days? You peel the
no,
logo. If you can peel the logo without tearing it,
you're getting late.
it's worth
I always
something.
thought it was if you're peeling the logo, then you're sexually frustrated. That's the one that we had. Is if you see someone peeling a label on a beer, then that means they are sexually frustrated. Yeah, Jacob made a comment too that he left the MegFed page as well. It's just
it's all toxic now. I don't
that
know,
being
man.
said,
I'm kind of
remember this: social media, Facebook groups is not the actual sport. Just because the people who want to sit at home or bored at work want to rile stuff out, that's not what you see at the paintball field. For the most part, there is a little bit of crossover. There always is, but the whole thing is that just the social media side of it does not reflect the sport itself. So remember that. At the end of the day, like we always say, just get
50,
out
50.
and play.
There's a lot of toxicity in the sport as well. So at 0 hour, there was a lot of toxicity in that game.
So my thing with the toxicity of the sport, though, is it's always been there. It's a perspective of, I perceive that I have done or completed this. I've hit you. You're out. It's broken. That's always been there.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, but then
it's old paint. Bullshit. Just take the hit.
Yeah. So
that's what I say. Yeah, that used to be my rhyme at Georgina. When people would be like, "Oh, it's old paint. It's old paint." I'm like, okay. You can't always be old paint. Take the hit and walk away. Like
the other one too is that like if it doesn't break, respect the shot, walk it off, things like that. It's always going to be there. It's there in speedball. It's there in scenario. It's there in rental days. It's there in MegFed. It is a part of the sport. It's one of the jokes is it's still better than airsoft because at least there is proof when it hits.
Yeah.
And
the proof is in the pudding all over your face.
Yeah. One of my favorite jokes is that a good friend of mine got into paintball, and he said his comment was, he goes, I have to remember that it's not a video game, and when I hit them, they can still hit me.
Yes. Because they will still hit you.
Yeah, that was one of the jokes he had. Is like, he's like, I eliminated you first, and it was just like, who says that it wasn't already in the air? And it's like, yeah, the video games take it out, but real life doesn't.
No.
So. But
because video games don't have an honor system like our game does. It's like airsoft. Only, again, we at least have the proof in the pudding all over your arm and or face. Yeah.
I've seen good things in indoor airsoft because it's just a closer field. You feel a little bit more, but the long range sniper stuff is the one that outdoors. But every single kid who shows up at paintball gets a 98 custom and thinks to themselves, I'm gonna be a sniper from the back. Yeah. True story.
True story. It happened to every friend of mine.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be the sniper. At one point in their game, they got that really long barrel. They wanted to stay in the back. They got sick of getting shot. They got a new tattoo. Blah 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 blah. I've heard it all over the years. There's always an excuse, for a reason rather.
Yeah.
An excuse.
The other one too is that, like I'll always say this, is that everyone has not called a hit. I do not know a paintballer that has not called a hit, either intentionally or unintentionally. No one has ever not called a hit, but wiping is when you're actively cheating.
Yeah. Oh, active, 100%. Or walking through your hits. Like if you're covered in paint, you just keep on playing through. That's actively cheating too.
Blatantly, yes. What I mean,
full of little rhymes tonight.
But what I mean though is like my one example is I put one on the left side of a player, and the ref ran over and checked, but he checked his right side for whatever reason, even though I was on the left. But the ref said, no, you're good. And I was like, no, clearly hit. Player asked for a check, technically played on, blah, blah, blah. One of my favorite ones, too, is I got hit in the side of the head. I had not a GoPro mount.
You gotta respect your refs. Like, refs call is final. I know you made the hit, blah, blah, blah. And you're gonna hate the ref. Like, who doesn't like yelling at the ref? Who doesn't yell at their TV every time the hockey game's on? Yeah. Speaking of which, wow.
I haven't been following anything for hockey.
Yeah, me neither. I just thought anybody who was. I don't sport. Anybody who knows me knows I don't sport.
Or sports paintball.
My wife plays plays baseball.
There you go. But no, my thing though was that was a learning moment for the ref. That was what I thought. I'm like, why would you check the right side when there's not. You're fine. Your wife's fine at home during the day. It's okay.
No, your wife. My wife is at work all day.
Yeah.
I'm at home all day.
But yeah, like one of the ones that I had was I got hit in the side of the head, and I thought I had felt something, but I went and I checked it, and I couldn't feel it, couldn't find it. What had happened was I had a camera mount, and it had hit the camera mount and gone in there. So the player's like, you're hit, and I'm like, where? I can't see it. So I walked over to him, and he's like, right here, and he puts his finger, and it's a glob of paint, and I'm like, okay, fine. He goes,
yeah,
thanks for
you know what? I'll always give them that. Go ahead, sorry.
But then he's like, thanks for like giving me away, like a-hole and stuff like that. And I'm like, one, I'm the only person here for a while, and I'm just gonna walk away. But that was the other one. I've even had it where there's the debate of who shot who first.
Han always shot first.
Han always shot first.
Who hasn't seen the new Star Wars yet?
I haven't, so I'm gonna mute you really quick here. I've heard good things though. I've heard everyone say that it's worth
Watch it. You know what? I
don't give in to the hate and just go.
Yeah, trust your feelings, but let the hate flow through you. There is a bit of stupid retconning. They made a lot of. I like Lando. They made a lot of references to the expanded universe. Lando talks about a lot of the adventures he had in the old expanded universe. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool that they're bringing that into the new Star Wars universe. They're making a lot of the old non-canon or Legends stuff.
Yeah,
real, which was really good. But we're not going to talk about that anymore. It was really good.
But we are hitting that hour mark, so we are gonna.
Got a few more minutes. Keep talking.
Wrap it up for the hours. If we're going weekly, we can cap it at an hour. But yeah, so we are.
And maybe
weekly.
even twice a week.
What?
Remember, we might do Thursdays and Sundays, depending on if these guys are really lucky. You said it.
We're gonna have a talk about this later. Anyways, so guys,
you said it, or did you mean Thursday or Sunday?
Thursday or Sunday.
Oh, we can do both sometimes if we got nothing better to do.
We will hopefully get more pub nights in, roundtable discussions, less about the show,
so
groups together.
We're getting a poll going on our Instagram. Do we have? We don't have Snapchat. We don't need a Snapchat.
No, we don't do Snapchat.
Who Snapchats anymore? Anybody out there?
The kids.
Nobody?
The kids. They Snapchats.
Shut up. Shut up, McCarthy. Shut up. He's treading on spoiler territory. Like, he's running on the edge. The only thing I didn't like about it was that one character that it looked like the dragon rider or the dragon trainer, dragon mother. Her name's Fest. Oops, spoiler, it's a she. But her name is
tells
Fest.
me nothing. I've been keeping away from everything.
It's the one with the funny blades on her head and and like the stormtrooper-esque eyes. Okay. She's a she just reminds me very, very much of the How to Train Your Dragon mom.
Oh, okay.
She looks like that kind of getup.
Yeah. Okay.
That really kind of bugged me. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody who showed up. If you want to help us out, you can always. I did not like Kira. She's actually Kira was the original name for Rey in the concept, but it was Kira.
Yes, Qira. Yeah, so we are going to be weekly on Thursdays now, 8:30 EST. Sundays. Extra shows will be posted, so always keep an eye open on our Facebook page.
Back to doubles, and we'll do without Tyler nights. Who would like that? Nights of Useless Rambling, no Tyler to rein me in.
Yeah, I'd be scared.
No, that would just be on my own page.
Yeah. So thank you guys for checking it out. As always, you can support the show by also supporting us on patchpanel.ca. We have our offer code TTP, saves you 20% off. Also helps the show out with some stuff we have going on with Evan. So if you want to see patches from the TTP, options of that, definitely check them out.
What do we have going on with Evan? I just noticed the lighting. It looks like I'm missing a tooth.
No, just like we might get some buy some TTP patches from there, looking into some things like that. So
I was looking into Patreon, and there's a really nice way if we could set up getting patches because he does laser cut, so have them every time somebody. We're figuring out a way to make this mutually beneficial for both you and us.
Yeah, but yeah, so we also
mostly us.
I have the event coming up at Sector. Nero may or may not be there, depending on if he gets a call beforehand to say that he's got work that day.
Game where?
At Sector on the Saturday.
Saturday,
June the delayed response. June the 9th. So not this weekend, but next weekend. Games will be around 11 o'clock. 10:30 to 11 is when the official games will start, but gates open at 9. Come
Discount
get set up.
On Patch Panel, TTP at checkout, and you get 15% off.
20%.
Basically the tax. 20%. Right. I always forget this because somebody's dumb and still hasn't fixed that.
Yes, I know. The other one too is that the Sunday is still up on the info one, so I gotta get the stuff up there. So, but yeah. So
well, I know. I thank you, Dwayne, but you reminded me to remind him to fix that fucking thing again.
Yeah.
Fix your shit.
Anyways, guys.
Speaking of which, we might actually be changing our podcast software as well if we get everything sorted out with Chester.
There's other stuff going on there. I'll talk about that later.
Oh, really?
Anyways,
yes. Oh, right. I forgot there's terms and conditions.
No, there's not there. It's other things. I'll talk to you about that anyways. I'm going to mute you soon so we can wrap this up. Anyways, guys.
Anytime you want to see me, at Mr. Nero Wolf or at... it's just Mr. Nero Wolf or Nero Wolf. Not on the Facebook. Don't Mr. Nero Wolf on Facebook. That doesn't take you to me.
And as always, train the way you play and...
Play the way you train. Obviously, why wouldn't you?
And we will see you guys on the field.
Right tool for the job.
Right tool.
That's a new thing. Use the right tool for the job. Because somebody was asking about the DMR kits. We never get to finish that conversation.
We rounded it out. We still talked about it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week.
Yay, beer.